Okay, we just have a question come in from the chat. If your borrower defaults, how do you get the deed in lieu, and how do you protect yourself? Okay, this came in through email. Typically, I will tell you that with the seller finance notes, very rarely do the people default on the notes that I hold. And it's because I've done such a good job vetting them. I'm going to make sure that they have a down payment. I like seasoning. If somebody's made payments on time for 12, 24 months, unless there's some catastrophe, they're not going to go into default. Okay. But let's say that they do. What I have found is most investors, most homeowners do not want a foreclosure on their record. So the key to protecting yourself, Nan, is to take action right away. Time is money. The biggest mistake that I see with people who have notes and they go into default is that they wait too long before they take action. And you have to realize that with every month that goes by, you've just lost that much interest and your rate of return has just gone down. Okay. You're eating up your equity in the property. You're not going to, if you let that go indefinitely, eventually there's not going to be equity to cover that accruing interest. So to protect yourself, what you want to do is make sure that you act quickly. By acting quickly, you contact the homeowner, you see what their situation is, see what you can work out. If they can't, they really don't have the money to stay, then say, look, I really don't want to foreclose on you. I don't want you to have that on your record. Why don't you just give me the deed in lieu of foreclosure? I will not report it to the credit bureau, and you can go ahead and move on. A lot of people will give cash for keys. In other words, say, I know you're down and out. I know you don't even have money to move. Here, I'll give you $1,000 so that you can go ahead and move. Or I'll give you money for your first, your deposit for your, another place to live or whatever. I said something that I want to clarify. And I think I'm kind of getting into too many details here. This is getting to be a long webinar, and I really want to wrap this up. I want to keep it to an hour. So, okay. I said that I would not report it to the credit bureau. But if you record a deed in lieu that says at the top, deed in lieu of foreclosure, the credit bureaus very well may pick that up. And so it may appear on their credit. One of the things that I do with my deed in lieu, I do not title it a deed in lieu. I just say quitclaim deed. Or sometimes I use a warranty deed. If they will give me a warranty deed, I go ahead and use that. But what I do is I put the language inside that deed. And I've also done it by separate agreement, okay, that does not get recorded. But I make it very clear that that deed is being given in lieu of foreclosure, so that when the borrower signs that deed, they have proof that I'm not coming after them in a foreclosure. Okay, but if you use a warranty deed and then you use a separate agreement, that way it won't be reported that they were in default to the credit bureau. So that's honestly the best way to do it to protect your borrower. And so that would be my advice. And if you have analyzed your note, how I teach you, there should be plenty of equity there. And actually, you're probably going to come out ahead by getting the deed, because then you can turn around and resell that if you want. You can keep it for a rental. You can move in. I mean, you can do whatever you want to with it. But let's say you're just interested in getting your cash back. Then all you need to do is sell the property. And if you've got enough equity, like I teach you, if you have an 80% or less loan to value, that means you can sell that at a fire sale for 80 cents on the dollar and still get all your money back. So how you protect yourself is acting quickly and making sure when you buy a note that you have a good, solid, low loan to value. And the lower the loan to value, the more equity that you have and the safer the deal. And again, that's one of the beauties of doing notes, is that you can tailor make an investment that fits your particular level of safety. If you're very cautious, go with a lower loan to value. If you feel good about the deal, then you can go a little higher. Make sense?